So in case our loop is as simple as this, we can rewrite the loop so as to include everything within the loop itself. I can say I is equal to 0, I less than 10, and I can write the print statement within the loop itself. So instead of writing I equal to, I simply write I plus plus, and I'll put a semicolon here. Now let us see what we have done. Now we have shifted the body to being a part of the for loop itself. So we have I equal to 0, I less than 10, and system.out.print I plus plus. So whenever the loop does not have any body, you need to put a semicolon to indicate that the loop is within the braces of the for loop itself, and there is no other part of the for loop which is after the this brackets. So let us see what output we get now. So we get an output which is 0 to 9. Now in this case, in case I use plus plus I instead of I plus plus, so that is bound to make some difference. As you can see, it is 1 to 10, because in this I plus plus is regarded as an expression. So this will make a difference to the value of I. So in this case it will be incremented and then printed, whereas in case of I plus plus, it is first put down to the print, it is passed to the print function, and then it is incremented in the memory space. So in this case it will make a difference to the value of I in case I use plus plus I and I use I plus plus. Now what happens if I print the value of I outside the for loop? Now what will come here? Will it be 10? Will it be 9? Will it be 11? Now as you can see, there is a cross coming which says that I cannot be resolved to a variable. So this means that I is undefined at this point. But we have already defined I within the for loop. But as I is defined within the for loop and the for loop finishes here itself, so this is a statement which is outside the for loop. So any statement, any code which is outside the for loop cannot access I, which is a local variable defined within the for loop. So that is why this error is coming. Any local variable within a loop cannot be accessed outside the loop. In case the semicolon is not there, then we can access this as a part of the for loop. So in case there is a semicolon in this, so there is a visibility problem of the variable I. It does not exist beyond the scope of the loop. Now another point in the for loop is that, as we have already seen, that most commonly we use this as the initialization, we use this as a check, and we use this as an increment or a decrement part. Now we can leave any part of the for loop. I can leave this part, take it as a part of the body, so this is perfectly okay, but I cannot remove the semicolon which separates the third part from the second part. I can remove the check, I cannot remove the semicolon. I can remove the initialization, which I can do outside the for loop. Now this is a form of for loop which is infinite loop. So there is no initialization, which we have already done before the for loop. There is no check, and by default, in case we do not write any check, this defaults to true. So this will always be, the check will always be true, and the loop will always continue till the time we execute any break. And as there is nothing in the third part, so system will come to the body and we have a print statement. So this is a kind of, this is a for loop which is infinite. It will keep on running and we will have to terminate from the command prompt. As you can see, it is an infinite loop continuing forever. So this is a for loop with a infinite loop. Another thing is, the first part and the third part, they don't have any reservation of what kind of code we can write. I can even start off with something like loop starts, and then I can write here I less than 10, and we can continue with the body part. So I'll again print out. So as you can see, it starts with the loop starts, then the loop actually starts. So this part we can write any print statement, and even in the third part, as we are already using, we can print any statement.